Please log out, log in. Okay, well, it's saying please log out, please log in. So you're not live again tonight. So I'm just going to do the recording and let you have a look at it tomorrow on the YouTube. I got a few more tricks to play with in the studio here, guys. We've got another camera. Let me just change that one over and go over to this one. I have to do this all manually. So this one is for the keyboard here, and it's from a camera just about here. Or actually, let me just change that again. There, take that one off there. You always got to remember to take one off, to put one back on. So basically, it's just about here. It's a little camera on top of the light here. It's like a light with a magnifying glass. Pretty cool, actually. So the light basically is lighting up where the camera is. The camera's down here onto the keyboard there. So that's that one. And we've also got this one here, the one that captures all the things here. And as you can see, we've got another little bit of a toy here. This is a monitor for your microphone. So I've got my radio mic in here, and I've got a bit more control over how I hear it and how it's coming out. So looking at it, it's not too bad. That's coming out quite well. I've got full control over the treble, volume, bass, record, a few little tricks here and all. If I press a few things. It's like sound bites, little sound bites that keep coming through. I've got a little bit of effect on my voice. I can change my voice a little bit, give it a bit more echo. There is a few little bits of fun here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you've got a few little tricks there. You can change the voice. If I press
this one here, it goes like that. A little bit more of a lively there. Sounds like I've hit the laughing gas.
Hit it again, and it goes a bit different to that, so that's kind of cool.
And then we're back talking in the balloon. That gives you it gives you this voice.
Hit it again, and it goes all back together again, so a bit like a transformer.
And then we're back again. So I have to hold it down for 2 seconds, I think, and then
Wink, you're back again. Sort of.
okay, but if I press MC, it takes it back anyway. So I've got that. If I go into the pop, I've got a few more different things there we can play with. That's interesting. Come back. 1, 2, 1, 2. No, hang on. Must be that one then. Right, hang on. So there's a little bit of an echo in there now. So then I can actually monitor myself on here. It should be coming out at a good level. Looking at the levels there, I'm just going to see where I've plugged in. So we are plugged back into... where are you? So you'll come back over there, back over there, back over there. Oh, I see, you're on this one here. So if I change that again, I've got a little bit more control over the voice. So now my sound effects will come in a bit better. When I've got the monitor up a bit more. Awesome! Yeah, a little bit on the quiet side there. Well, that's not too bad. It's monitoring myself a bit better. So I got a bit more control over my mic. And as long as I got the level about right, that shouldn't be too bad. It's nice and clear for me now. I've got a little bit of an echo in there. And hoping you're hearing it. Oh no, that's a little bit too more there. Let's chop that down a bit. So yeah, let's chop that down a bit more. Hope that's coming through all right. But it's basically just loads of little things. If I put it into the Pro package, this basically gives me a little bit more of control over things. We've got a recording system, so I can change all the recording over. I can change the voice a bit more, get it a bit more deeper, a bit more level. I've also got prime voices here, so I can change the system around a little bit more to get to my voice. If I go back into this one, this is quite cool. This is like the karaoke, so you've got the full effect of the karaoke if you want to do some singing. Or you've basically got a nice clear voice, so you can clear it all up. Well, actually, there's a lot of echo in that one, looks of it. And
When you can change your voice again, so yeah, that's kind of cool. I have to remember where these buttons go.
And then I know what I'm doing. Come back if you
Yeah, okay, so we're going back into my head into a balloon. Yeah, okay.
so it's kind of interesting. Let me think. If I change that around there, I can hear that pretty good. I hope you guys are hearing it pretty well. And I don't have to shout then. I can just keep my voice nice and low, and I can monitor myself pretty nicely. So we are not going online tonight. The looks of it, it's not having that. So, but then I know it's all the learning curve. At least we got the cameras working, and at least we got the sound working and not interfering like it was the other day. So I'm happy with that. That's pretty good. Got one running at the moment. I got my album out, which was basically come out a few years now. I did one which was a space journey, and I thought I'd have a go at that one again if I can remember how it goes. There's one on there called Travelling Forwards. It's getting a bit loud now, isn't it? Let's just change that down a bit. I can hear it back into my earphones. So I'm going to bring the level down a bit and take the echo off. There you go. So take the monitoring down a bit. That's it. So yeah, it's quite a little marvellous bit of kit here. It's a monitor for a mic, but it's also got lots more things in. You can actually Bluetooth about 3 phones off it, believe it or not. But in this particular setup, it's interesting. I mean, I probably could Bluetooth my phone off it, but I've got so many inputs going at the moment, I probably don't need them. But yeah, there's one on my album. Let's see if I can change that voice a bit. Okay, there's one on mine. Now it's a little bit different, isn't it? It's a bit more bitey-fied. It's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's quite good. It's acceptable. I can bring the volume down a bit there, so I've got control over my earphones. There's just one level going out at the moment for the keyboards and everything, and that's what you're hearing. So I've got that level about right. So that's not too bad. This album I've had out a few years ago is called Steve Francis and Space Journey. Now it's this journey that has, if you go on to BANDCAMP and look for that one, there's also a little video down the bottom, and you can actually click on that, and I'll put a video to one of my Beyond the Horizon ones. So on this album we've got Drifted on a Star, Floating Through the Nebula, Into the Past, Space Fields, Space Hop, Space Cluster, a Star Cluster, Starbeam, Travelling for Onwards, and Walking Through the Galaxy. Now, I'll have to have a quick listen to them, obviously, just to make sure I know exactly what I'm playing. So what I'm going to do is next, because this has been set up roughly to that sound, or the sounds of it. Whether it's the rhythm or not, I don't know, but we'll just see that, and that's Travelling Onwards. So I'm just going to have a quick listen to Travelling Onwards. Let's just see if that's running. So where are we? Got to find the key now. Yeah, there you go. That's a nice one, isn't it? That would be off this one here. Trambling onwards. Nice one, that one is. I don't think that's the one I was going to play actually, but that's trambling onwards. Let's go back one. Have a look at that other one. So that's one of the tracks on there. Now, which one would that be? Let's have a quick listen to this. Got a bash on there, isn't it? That's a little bit loud. Let me chop that one down a bit. That's on number 3. Take that down a touch. So yeah, it says the album gives you a music ability of background music for Space Journey. So you could just close your eyes and basically you'll be there, like, or around. Bing, 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 yeah. Well, I thought so, I must admit. Yeah, well, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to try one of these then. thank you. Got my own clap in there, you see. Look at that, hey? You can look at that, hey? Cool.
Love it. You guys are so great.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I just changed that there. Thank you. Thank you. Just say thank you for the voice change.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's really good and you.
Now gotta get it back now somehow.
Could it be that one? No, it's not that one. No, not that one. No.
Maybe that one. Could be that one. Yeah. That's a bit more the karaoke one. That's Twilight. All that sort of thing. Yeah, so that's one of the tracks off the Space album one. The Space Hop, let's have a quick listen to that one, shall we? God, that's a lot of echo in that one. Let's bring him down a bit. Okay, this is called Space Hop. It's off the album which is Steve Francis' Space Journey. Well, it sounds good through the headphones. Let's bring it up a bit more. It does some bass there. Really enhances it pretty well, this thing. There's definitely some bass in there, isn't there? Whoa. Maybe we need to bring that back down a bit. Gotta find it first. Which one are you? That one. Too much bass on that. It's a nice gentle one, isn't there? Yeah, that one's a Space Hop. One of mine. Gives you an idea. It's a nice, gentle chill out on that one. And then there's Into the Past. Let's have a quick listen to that one. I'm on the actual website for BANDCAMP, which is mine. So if you put DJ, I think it goes under DJ Steve Francis actually. This is which one was this done on? Probably this one. Yeah, that's Into the Past. So basically, it just gently going into the past. We'll play along with it. Here we go. Build up the actual levels. Build up the layers. Yeah, that's it. So this is into the past. And the wordings I put for this one is, let me just read it, I'll have to go on to a different page to do it. Could be a good part of the film, which is, yeah, I think that would quite make nicely into a film, like, to bring them on a bit more. So if I click that there, yeah, it just comes in there nicely, that one, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a nice gentle one that builds up, that one is. It builds up into a good crescendo. Starts off as a little bit of a confusion, and then it starts, it blends out nicely over to some layers, nice layers. Goes like that. Just fades out nicely. I suppose I could have made a longer version of that one, but it just fades out nicely, that one. So that's Into the Past. Just a nice, gentle one that builds up from nothing into a little bit more of a crescendo. Crescendo. I'm sure that's a musical term. Yeah, it is a musical term. Is it a musical term? Okay.
I don't know that is a musical term. I think it's a musical term. Okay, does he know?
Hello, I don't know. No, I don't know. No. Oh, okay, you don't know.
Moving back. Right, so let's go and have a listen to another one then. So basically that was Into the Past. That was called. This is off the album Space Journey by Steve Francis, which is available on BANDCAMP. Another one, Drifting on a Star. Let's have a listen to this one. So we can have a nice listen to some of the music before we actually enjoy. Oh, that's a yeah, that's it. A couple of years ago when I did this one, so I can't remember which one I did it on. No, it's not one of that one. It's quite quiet actually. That's the one. That's really in the background. That was just so it's Drifting on a Star, nice chill out one. And of course, we know this one. This one's one I usually put to some of my YouTube people coming back to have another listen to me on YouTube. And this is Beyond the Horizon. Yeah, those instruments are nearly the right same, isn't it? That's what I did play about 4 years ago. Go, and it's on jumping straight onto Drifting on the Star. There you go. This one's floating through the nebula. Gosh, that's low, isn't it? So this one is floating through the nebula. It's got a nice little beat to it. Maybe you can hear it a bit better now. More for a chill out. Yeah, so that was, what was that one? That was, oh, it's just gone off there. That was Floating Through the Nebula. And then, of course, we've got Space Fields. Some of these I can't quite remember, but, oh, there's a nice gentle one, yeah. We've got a zip that's on the zip on this one. So I'll probably have to change that to a pad. Yeah, space fields, this one. There's a difference. It was on this one. Yes, it's definitely on this one. So we've got the triggers on this one. Performance pads. Yes. Now I know which one I did it on. Yeah, I did it on the Technics. Definitely the pads. I could tell when it's the pads. There's only one keyboard that's got pads, and that's that one. That's the one, Technics. Space fields. So that's Space Fields. So if you want to pop over to BANDCAMP, and look out for DJ Steve Francis. Space Journey. Space Journey is the one. All albums only are about £5. They're expensive. Woo! And all done in real time. That sounds a bit too powerful, doesn't it? There, too much echo in that one. 1, 2. That's lively one. So there you go, that's Space Fields. Got that too loud again. bring that down a bit. Space fields. And then if you go into the next one, star cluster. Yeah, this This one's Moonbeam. Sounds like a train actually starts off, this one does. All these are done in 432, which is a frequency which is relaxing. This is basically to interpretate digital information coming in to make music. But this is the old type of music that's coming in, and the old formats, and the old sort of frequency, until the computer gets hold of it and can re-scramble it. And it comes just about now. And this is the re-scrambled version. All re-scrambled. So imagine you're in the future and you've just encountered the data of a musical track, and it came in scrambled like that. The computer got hold of it, or the AI, and then turned it into this. What I imagined at the time when I was doing it. So all these songs I incorporated was into space, way into the future. sudden they pick up the signal that came from the past that had to be translated. And of course they're AI computers translating. And this is what Sunbeam represents. From what came a scramble comes into a beautiful sound. So that's what that represents, that's that one. And then we've got Travelling Onwards. All these albums you can buy separately for £1, or go the whole hop and £5 for a 10-track album. All my albums now are £5, the digital ones anyway. This is a nice one, Travelling Outwards. Done on this one, I think. Obviously not that sound. Hello, the clarinet's back again. Saxophone. Nice chilled out version. Now we're back on this one. There you go, you see. So that's Travelling Onwards. And then of course we got the one that finishes off, which is Walking Through the Galaxy. So that's a little bit of the walk through the gallery, I suppose, walk through the album. Yeah, walk through the album. And that just fades up into distance after about 4 minutes. So there you go, that's a little bit of a trip around the album, which is Space Journey. That came out about 4 years ago. It's on BANDCAMP as a digital format, digital download. We've gone through nearly all of them actually. There's about 10 tracks on there, and you can basically listen to all 10 tracks for £5, which is pretty cool. Or if you want to just buy some odd tracks, if you want over 6 or 7 or 8, then obviously it's cheaper to go and get the album. But if you only want 1 or 2, they're only £1 or whatever you'd like to put on. If you want to give me a bit, £2 or £3 or whatever, I won't say no. But I always give that option. It's one of these BANDCAMP things. We usually basically say, you can give me £1 or whatever. It's usually you set the price and basically the minimum that you would take. So basically, if you also look on BANDCAMP and you see there's a video that says, this is a video to the album. If I press the video to the album, I have to go onto YouTube, looks like it. Go once, change the format. Gotta update the thing. Oh, hang on. No, I better not update it, otherwise I'll get lost. Come back. Yeah, so you can actually listen to the video then of the album, and I've put basically a spaceship taking off. You can see it taking off, going through all these fantastic pictures and the galaxy, and also you can see special effects and things like that I put together. I did it. I basically put the music into Canberra, which is a free software you can get. And basically all I did was put the music on a track down the bottom and then put some royalty-free videos on top and sequenced them through, did a few little effects, and there. So basically the spaceship goes up with all the music. I think the actual track it stays on is Beyond the Horizon, so that's that good one like that you quite like. So basically you're looking at Beyond the Horizon, and then this video goes on, the spaceship goes up, goes to all these places, and I actually bring the astronauts and the spaceship back down to Earth, as you could see on the last bit where it goes on, comes in and lands on the runway. So yeah, did it 4 years ago, that one, and everyone likes that one. I think on YouTube it's very, very popular. It's quite one of the most played ones. And I always use that one as if people have gone to YouTube and they've had a break and they want to come back, then I always put that video as the one that they can come back on. Instead of the one talking that's on there, that I actually say, "Hi, my name's Steve Francis, I do this, that and the other." So it's all good. But check out on BANDCAMP, there's loads of different things on. At the time I was thinking of different things to play, and obviously at the times there was all different times and different things and that, so sometimes we'd have a Beatle moment, sometimes we'd have an ABBA moment, sometimes we'd have an ELO moment, sometimes we'd do a bit of synth world, that's one of mine, that's with all synthesizer stuff in. Yeah, let's have a quick listen to synth world, shall we? So let's have a think. Chariots of Fire, so it's Chariots of Fire on this one. I think I probably did it on the Technics. Yeah, probably to sound like a bit of Technics on that one. Yeah, there you go. So that's Synth World. making mistakes in there, I don't bother about taking the mistakes out because I look at it this way. This album's human. It's not interfaced. It's not AI. It's not back to bow with. If I go wrong, I go wrong and I'll record it. So you actually hear me going wrong. This was another one quite well-known one, actually. It's got a nice beat to it. This is Echo Beach. We've got a few of them. It's definitely on the Technics. Bit of Echo Beach. So yeah, that's a pretty cool one. That was. See, they'd have mucked about with that one in the studio. They'd have gone, oh no, we're done now, we've got to do that one again. Fuck off. It's a human thing. You go wrong. We don't want to be bloody robots. Here's a nice one. This one. Find Your Way Home for the Vangelis. Yeah, I remember I did it on that one, didn't I? Yeah, so there's a Find My Way Home. Living Next Door to Alison, that was done by the Technics down the bottom. Not the Technics, that was done by the Taurus. And here's an interesting one. This is Magnetic Fields 2. So there you go, if you blow it open. So if you haven't got that album yet, check it out. Sense Magnetic Fields 2. The album is called Synth World. Of listening to it to myself. And I'm the one that made the noise. Whoops. There you go. Like I say, we can only laugh. So yeah, there's that's another good one on the album there for you. Magnetic Fields 2. Yeah. And of course, if you've got Magnetic Fields, this was done on the Taurus, so with a different keyboard again. This is the one downstairs. And here's Oxygen. That's the only drawback if you actually do play with yourself, let's call it. And all these, believe it or not, are first attempts. In fact, I don't believe anything else, I just press record and go. It's all good stuff.
You could say you're in space, really, couldn't you?
Well, sort of.
Well, I would say so anyway.
Okay. So there you go. That's another one there. A bit Jean-Michel Jarre and that. So the next one on there, got a little bit thick. Where are we? Got a bit thicker. There you go. This one was probably on the one downstairs again. Might be on this one actually. No, actually it's on the Technics. I can hear the right rhythm now. There you go, all some good stuff on there. All synthesizer stuff I love. Actually, I think now, listening to it, I have a feeling, yeah, I have a feeling that's the Technics. Oh, I don't know. No, I think it might be the Taurus. Cool, look at that. Look at all those screws are got. You've got cameras everywhere now. I've got to remember to take one off to put one on. There you go. Bit of orange juice. Oh, that's better. Ooh. Yeah, I'm sure that's done on the Technics downstairs. Taurus. And of course, one of the ones that we all know from Jean-Michel Jarre is Rendezvous Houston. Dear. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, well, moving on. This one actually is, I'm a big fan of Space 1999. Not an easy one to play, but this is Space 1999. You might remember this one if you're around in the 60s, late 70s, early 70s actually. If not, basically it was a space film, or actually a space program by Gary Anderson. Actually, listening to that, that's close to the original. That's what you can do when you play by music, play by ear. But I think I put a bit of a effect in there when I mastered it. Yeah, there's definitely a fade in and fade out there. So when I mastered it, I put a fade on and fade off. That ran in a sort of timing. It just comes in and out, gently. Space 999. Yep. Pretty good one there. But the next one, You might recognise this one. Possibly by the way, it's coming up to the Hollywood movie. Yep, playing over the top of my own stuff. And of course, this one was one I made myself. I was hoping this one was going to be for the John Lewis advert, but we keep trying every year. You can have an advert at the back and a cartoon. Starlight Summer. By Steve Francis. my ears, these things do. Ouch. Pop the hat on up a bit. That's a bit better. Nipping my ears. So this is Starlight Summer. I made this one basically, hopefully, for a John Lewis advert one day. So many years into the future you might hear it if they actually accept it. We try it every year and then they go and bring some rubbish out. But I could just see some cartoon figures at the back and my music in the background playing. It fits, doesn't it? Just got to get it in the right place. So if you're the guy that organises that, give me a call. It's all licensed, you're alright. Ding, ding, ding. Did this in a studio, a professional studio. I actually won some time with a raffle ticket many, many years ago. And I put it in 3 times for John Lewis adverts, but it's not been picked. It just picked some rubbish in my account, where they could have a nice background sound like this. See, there's a nice one there, you just zoom it in or zoom out. It might get picked one day. Could be the John Lewis advert. The background John Lewis advert. That's called Starlight Summer, and that's by Steve Francis. Me. So there you go, you've had to listen to all the songs on the, 1 or 2 others there you haven't heard. Basically, that's all on the album, £5. You can have that album as a digital download. If you want the vinyl, I ain't got them done yet, but they could be original vinyls, they're nice vinyl ones. I've done some vinyls over there, one of my musics, and also CDs. CDs are about £11. So they're not actually on BANDCAMP, it's a link to it, you'd have to have a look at it. There's a link off it, and it goes straight to the website. And what they've done there is put me on a like a shop where all my albums are on there, and you can pick them, have them as a CD or a vinyl if you got some thick pockets, because they're quite expensive, they are. But there again, thinking about it, they're not that expensive, because I used to know albums about £10 when I used to buy them. Nowadays, you double it basically. So my albums are about £27. But you know, depending on where you are, you've got your post and packaging, so it is an expensive system nowadays to get vinyl, but there again, the quality is still there. Quality will never go. So, but yeah, I'm pleased with that, that's all working nicely. Bit of Vangelis stuff there. Definitely got the old Vangelis stuff there, isn't there? Wow. Amazing. That instrument really amazes me. That one was the very closest thing to and the one that Vangelis used to play. Okay. Let's change cameras. Let's go find another camera, shall we? So we knock this one off. And we put this one on. So we've got another camera. And this one is about this way. the old German pop. Got a lovely sound, that one. It's just like the old Korg. Sounds like a James Bond one, doesn't it? Sounds just like a James Bond one. Yeah, a little bit of a Bond movie there. Bit of a one coming on there. Okay, right, I'm going to leave you with another one. It's going to be a warm one tomorrow. I'll most likely be sleeping it off, but this one's the line sleeps tonight. Back to the 80s. Okay, well, it's been great. I've tried the new studio out, and as you can see, everything's all flashing over there. It's having a wonderful time. Okay, well, thanks for joining me, and we now got 3 cameras running, as you can see. We're on one at the moment. This one. Hello. Okay, I'm going to do this last one. And thanks for joining me. Please look into BANDCAMP, look for DJ Steve Francis. There is 36 albums there. Each one is about £5. It's a digital one. It's not a physical one, unfortunately. But the money goes towards me building better and better studios. Yeah, it all goes back in the pot. So basically, thanks a lot for the people that have been supporting me. That's pretty cool. And let's have some more. Let's have some more new people enjoying the music. If you like some of my 432 stuff, there's lots more coming. I think I'm working on the planet Mercury at the moment. We've gone through all the planets. Now we're heading off out the atmosphere and a bit further on than Earth. And I hope you enjoyed some of the music that I put to you earlier on, like to give you a bit of a demonstration on some of the albums that I made through the years. There's lots on there, there's 32 albums, and each album's got 10 tracks on. So basically, if you bought one track on its own for £1, you'd be paying £10. But what I've done to make it easy for you guys is if you buy £5, you get 10 tracks. A lot easier to have the album than actually have the odd bits and bobs. And I think you got about 28, 29 free turns on there you can have a listen to before you actually buy anything. Can't say fairer than that. And I've also got some merchandise. As you can see, my hat's on. Well, you can't with this one because it's down here. If you can see it, camera's right down here. Yeah. So come and join me. Also, if you want to listen to my YouTube channel, there is loads of stuff on there, loads of videos I've done over the years, and loads more still to come. Also, I do my Sunday Chill, and also this one. Most of these videos will end up on YouTube, and a lot of the videos on my one downstairs will end up on YouTube, plus more and more. I did think about the subscription thing, but it's not really worth it. I'm just going to give it away for free. Because it would be only doing exactly the same as what I'm doing now, so I can't see the sense in charging people to show exactly what I will do later on. That's not fair. Okay, thank you for the music. There we go. Even got that noise in the background. Okay, let's move up to here and change the camera again. Incidentally, this is what I'm seeing when I look at the screen. But not all that one, I'm just seeing this one. That's just sort of repeating itself. So basically, there's my record button there. You see it recording. It's been doing 2 hours and 16 minutes. Goes on and on. And then what I'll do is I'll stop it there, you see. That's what I'll do. There's my voice thing going back and forwards through the microphone and everything. And then we're on one scene, but there's the camera it's catching at the moment. That's the screen camera. So that's whatever I show on here, if I bring this one down, so you're seeing that, and I can do that basically. So basically I can do some tutoring, like someone wants to know how to do something, put a camera on or convert a camera or something like that. You can do all that. So then we take this one off, and we can put this one on, with the capture one, with all the bits and bobs on. Thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much.
I love it. You guys are so great.
I know, it's good. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's very nice of you to do that. Thank you.
Yes, we like to say thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was very nice, thank you.
Yeah, that's better. Gone into karaoke now. La 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 la. Let's turn that down a bit. Yeah, we have full control over the system here. So thanks for joining us. We've also got the other camera there. Got to take that one off, put that one on. You got to take one off to put one on. And that's that one. And then of course we've got the Tech 3. So take that one off, put that one on, and then there you go. Hello. All in HD quality. It seems to be in HD quality when I sort of do the recording, but when you go streaming, you lose a lot of that quality. So I tend to do the video now at night time. I mean, it's coming up to 4 o'clock in the morning now. I tend to go like that, and then what I do is I'll record it. Hang on, go back on there. No, wrong one. That one, take that one. No, that's the other one. That one? Nope. Try that one. There you go. Got too many cameras now. Yeah, so basically record it and put it on YouTube later. So this is a biggie. 2 hours, 20 minutes. So we're going to cut it off now. Thanks for joining me. Check out all the other stuff. That's got a lot of echo in that one somewhere. Bring it down a bit. It's coming through my headphones anyway. So yeah, happy with the studio, how it's going. I'll leave everything as it is. And I've also got my synthesizer up here, another mic, so I can use that and all good stuff. Take care guys, I will see you soon. Bye.